Well, here's something you don't see or hear very often. Former Air Force officers held a press conference today in Washington, D.C. Over 120 retired military personnel warn of a quote-unquote ongoing and alarming intervention by unidentified, get this, aerial objects at nuclear weapons sites. Well, who else but RT Cedric Moon was there, and he brings us the story.
Perhaps few things say normal or routine more than a daily dose of coffee, a cup of calm, in what can on any day be out of the ordinary. Out of the ordinary, like a nuclear holocaust out of the ordinary. Let's say there's an attack from where doesn't matter. It could be North Korea, Iran, Pakistan. If that were to happen, nuclear payback wouldn't happen. That's a claim made by the men in this room.
Our missiles began going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable. Essentially, they were disabled.
Detailed in this report, full of court-sanctioned sworn affidavits.
The witnesses have described these craft as disc-shaped or cylindrical shaped or spherical.
If you think what's being said inside this building is completely ridiculous, you might want to consider something.
My name's Robert Hastings. Thank you for coming.
These are men who might know what may have gone on. They're former Air Force missile launch officers, missile base officers, who say UFO spaceships, flying saucers, make nuclear weapon systems go haywire.
In 1966, according to a launch officer, David Schur, his missiles were temporarily activated just as his security guard was reporting a bright object moving from missile to missile to missile.
10, 9, 8.
And it's not just in the United States. Also,
4, 3,
in Russia.
2, 1.
Like a 1982 incident that happened in then-Soviet Ukraine.
Given the fact that these incidents have gone on over there, including one incident of their missiles being temporarily activated when a UFO was hovering above the missile base, identical to what occurred here, I think we can rule out that whoever are piloting these craft are either American or Russian.
Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe there's no way to ever know. But if they are right, and an out-of-the-ordinary day is about to unfold, remember the saucers. Cedric Moon, RT, Washington, D.C.
And Cedric joins me now for more in the studio. So my first question is, when am I going to get a great cup of coffee from you? Because you seem so skilled in making one.
Well, I could tell you, Dina, that about a block from here, there's a Starbucks that sits right on the corner. They make wonderful coffee over there.
I've never heard of it, but I guess I'll have to check it out sometime.
Keep that in mind, Starbucks.
I will. So, Cedric, okay, so first of all, these gentlemen that we saw on the panel say that they were ordered by the government not to reveal what they had known. What would be the motive behind that?
Well, that's what they want to know. They can't answer that question. I mean, that's what they've said the entire time through the panel discussion. You know, we've been told to be silent about this for X number of years. Why we were told to be silent, we don't know. That's exactly why we are now calling on the government to tell us at this point, among many other things, why we were told to essentially shut up.
You know, there was this underlying question, though, why they thought that whatever they saw wasn't a foreign government or foreign influence, why it was sort of extraterrestrial activities.
Well, they describe a lot of the movements of some of these spacecraft as something that's a little bit too, I guess, too nimble for conventional aircraft. They also say that the fact that this is happening not just here in the United States, but in the former Soviet Union, also in other countries, through several decades, it's like, well, why would we, if it's happening all over the place, why would we start blaming each other for something like this to be happening?
Any idea why these visitors would be so interested in either the nuclear arsenals of the United States or even of Russia? Why concentrate on the nukes?
Well, according to the report, it says that they seem to say, the people on the panel today, that aliens are concerned about humankind killing each other, killing itself with these weapons of mass destruction. And so ever since the inception of nuclear weapons, they have monitored all the happenings and all the building up and all the creation of this kind of weapons. But then I think, to make this come full circle, I think they're really here for the Starbucks, like we pointed out earlier.
Well, or maybe the aliens could convince the Senate to finally ratify the START Treaty. So, you know.
Well, the aliens are all for the START Treaty.
They must be if they're concerned about, you know, nuclear weapons killing everyone.
April was a wonderful month for them.
R.G. Cedric Moon, thanks so much.